Lisbon is only a short drive away from a number of fantastic destinations. From ancient temples and medieval castles to beaches and surfing, just taking a few day trips from Lisbon can provide you with everything you need in a vacation. For anyone headed to Portugal soon, these are our 10 favorite day trips to take from Lisbon. And be sure to subscribe to our channel for more travel videos like this. And if you're looking for a travel buddy in Portugal, be sure to check out GAFFL. Sintra. Sintra is located just 30 kilometers northwest of Lisbon and is easily accessible by train. As soon as you arrive, you'll immediately understand why so many tourists flock to Sintra when they visit Portugal. It's hard not to be awestruck by the beautiful historic castles and opulent palaces, many of which have been designated as UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Palacio de Peña, or the Peña Palace, and Castelo de Moros, the Castle of the Moors, are two of Sintra's most beautiful hilltop locations, both of which are surrounded by lush greenery and offer stunning views of the surrounding area. You can either do a long hike up to these sites, but we would highly recommend taking a shuttle bus just to save you some time. Heading back to the old town, you can see the Palacio Nacional de Sintra, a 14th century palace that was once a favorite vacation spot for Portuguese royalty. You should also visit the Quinta da Regulera, an opulent 19th century estate that houses the quirky neo-Gothic architecture of the Palacio dos Milhos. While the palace itself is gorgeous, the area's real draw is the beautiful gardens and numerous hidden caves underneath that you can explore. Cascais. In Cascais, just 25 kilometers west of Lisbon, you can find a great mix of old world charm and modern comfort. There's a quick driving route to Cascais, but the breathtaking scenic train ride from Lisbon is going to be the ideal transportation for most. A plethora of delicious restaurants, trendy shops, and beautiful sandy beaches await you when you arrive. As a world-class surfing and windsurfing destination, Guincho Beach will be the favorite among adventure travelers. The Cascais Maritime Museum, the Santa Marta Lighthouse, which has another small but interesting museum, and the Palacio da Cidadela, Cascais' 17th century waterfront fortress, are among some of the most notable historic attractions in the area. Evora. Evora is a 90-minute drive east of Lisbon and is home to some of Portugal's best historical attractions. In fact, the city's entire old town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Evora's most famous site is the Roman Temple, which was built in the 1st century and is one of Portugal's best preserved ties to the Roman Empire. Another fascinating place to visit is the 14th century São Francisco Church, with its Chapel of Bones. This tiny sanctuary is filled from floor to ceiling with bones exhumed from the nearby cemeteries, which are used to remind churchgoers of life's fleeting nature. Fatima. Fatima is a small town in the heart of Portugal, located about an hour north of Lisbon. Santuário de Fatima, aka the Sanctuary of Our Lady Fatima, is one of the most important pilgrimage sites in all of the Catholic world. If you visit Fatima on the 12th or 13th of May or October, you'll be able to witness Portugal's largest religious event, as thousands of devotees make their way to this humble farming town to commemorate the spot where 3 shepherd children reported seeing the Virgin Mary a little more than 100 years ago. Even if you don't visit during this time of year, Fatima is definitely worth the trip for people of all faiths. Simply seeing the beautiful cathedrals and shrines in this area is unforgettable. Nazare. Nazare is about an hour and 30 minutes north of Lisbon and is a great beach destination away from the city, especially for avid surfers. Nazare was primarily known as a fishing town for the majority of its history. That changed in 2011 when a professional surfer conquered a record-breaking 24-meter wave. Since then, Nazare has become a renowned surfing destination, with world records being broken on a regular basis. To catch some of these massive waves, head over to the Praia de Norte beach and the Nazare Lighthouse. The lighthouse actually has a cool surf museum that costs only €1 to enter, where you can learn about how the waves in this area got so big. Alcobaça. If you're visiting Nazare, you can easily make it a 2-for-1 day trip by visiting Alcobaça as well. which is only a 15-minute drive away from Nazare. The Mosteiro de Santa Maria Alcobaça, Portugal's largest church, was founded in 1153 by the first Portuguese king and is one of the country's earliest Gothic-style buildings. A visit to this UNESCO World Heritage Site is well worth the trip to Alcobaça, and you should spend a few hours here exploring this marvelous monastery before returning to Lisbon. Batalla. Batalla is only 25 minutes north of Alcobaça and is home to another UNESCO World Heritage Site, the Mosteiro de Batalla, or Battle Abbey. The construction of this magnificent structure began in 1388 and took nearly a century to complete. While the monastery in Alcobaça was a great example of early Gothic architecture in Portugal, this monastery in Batalla is an excellent example of late Gothic architecture and is truly one of the most impressive monasteries in all of Portugal. Obidos. Obidos is one of the most enchanting places in all of Portugal. This stunning medieval town with narrow cobblestone streets is only an hour's drive from Lisbon and truly transports you back in time. Tourists are free to walk along the town's halls, which lead to beautiful vantage points, and eventually up to the Castelo de Obidos, the town's 13th century castle, which is now a hotel. The town, which was founded in the 12th century, is rich in historical artifacts that are just waiting to be discovered. Costa de Caprica. If you're looking to get away from the city, Costa de Caprica is the place for you. During the summer months, this beautiful beach destination is a popular vacation spot for locals. Located just 18 kilometers from Lisbon, this is another excellent spot for surfing. The rolling dunes and the vast sands of this beach are also ideal for those who prefer a more laid-back beach day. Costa de Caprica also has several great beachfront cafes and restaurants for you to enjoy while you're here. Porto. While it's possible to travel from Lisbon to Porto in a day, Porto is about a 3-hour drive north of Lisbon, so a weekend trip will be preferable to most. Because there's so much to do in this wonderful city, you'll probably need the few extra days anyways to fully appreciate it. Great historical sites and a diverse selection of food and wine are just a few of the highlights. While you're here, be sure to visit the Porto Cathedral and the Palácio de Bolsa, both of which are iconic landmarks in the city. The lavish interior of the São Francisco Church is well known and is truly a magnificent sight to behold. Spend some time getting lost in the Sarav's art scene, or have a day to soak up some sun in the Foz do Douro. Going to the Porto Calum for wine tasting sessions is one of the quintessential Porto activities. After all, that is what the city is known for. Whatever time of year you visit, there's always plenty to do in Porto. That concludes our list of the best day trips from Lisbon. Be sure to check out GAFFL to find a travel buddy for your next trip.